All right, well, we showed you earlier the rocket, Roger Clemens, telling a federal courtroom he did not lie to Congress about using banned substances. He has now left those hearings to play golf this afternoon, apparently. It seems that more often than not, though, not just Mr. Clemens. I mean, this is others as well. It's the cover-up that brings down powerful figures, not necessarily the bad behavior they were accused of to begin with. As the saying goes, it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. So why is there such an arrogance of power? Darren Ravel is back with us, and we also want to bring in business ethics expert Lauren Bloom, an attorney and author of The Art of the Apology. It is an art, Lauren, that we all probably could do better at. But it does seem in these very high-profile cases, when someone knows they're going to get busted, they still think if they just lie, it'll go away.
They think that, and they're never right. And you're correct. People who are high profile, by definition, are ambitious. They're energetic. They're eager to get to the top. And those very qualities tend to also make them a little more reluctant to admit to being human and fallible like the rest of us.
So who has done this right? I mean, are there any examples? I mean, because obviously we're not looking at Roger Clemens. I know in a moment Darren will comment. I mean, Tiger Woods was another one who tried to obfuscate it first. Is there anyone who's actually come out and done it right, whether in the sports world or the business world?
Actually, somebody who I think did it pretty well was David Letterman. So I'm going to move over to entertainment for a minute. When David Letterman ended up having to address accusations that he had behaved badly in his dealings with women in the company, he was very direct. He didn't deny it. He didn't let the story fester. He didn't play games. He just went straight on television and said, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I blew it. And you know, that was pretty much the end of the matter. I wish other people would learn from his example on that score.
Darren Ravel, is there any possibility that Mr. Clemens is telling the truth at this point?
I guess there's some possibility, but they have one of his best friends, Andy Pettit, against him, saying that he told them that there's supposedly physical evidence from the trainer, which he gave over to the government. Aaron, if I could say one comment, I'll say that a lot of athletes, at least, get away with it. Dante Stallworth, a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, got charged with DUI manslaughter, ran over a person, killed him, 24 days in jail. I mean, if you have the mentality that you're going to get away with it and your colleagues get away with it, then you come in with this attitude.
Right, and that's a great point, especially when you look at that. And awful when it looks at examples for children and stuff like that as well. Lauren, what about in the business world where no doubt there are plenty of ethical breaches which come up, but the ones that get the most publicity and are obfuscated tend to be of a sexual nature, usually involving a male CEO.
It happens a lot, and again, it's one of those things where if it's true and it can be proved that one of the male CEOs did something wrong, then at that point, hiding it, lying about it only makes things worse. Honestly, the quicker somebody says, I made a mistake, I'm terribly sorry, and I'm going to have to deal with it, the better off they are.
Which I guess you could say Mark Hurd did, right? He still lost his job.
Well, sort of. The Mark Hurd situation is strange because HP investigated and said they found nothing wrong. And he reached a private settlement with the woman who he was accused of mistreating. Nonetheless, he's no longer in his position, and I think people are taking that as proof that he must have done something inappropriate.
Yes, and there's been a lot of discussion about that, what the nature of that relationship was. Thanks very much to both of you. We appreciate it. No doubt we'll have further opportunity, sadly, to have this conversation. Next, though, a truly defining sign of the times.